All right, welcome to the deep dive. If you're an aspiring pilot, you know instrument approaches are absolutely central. I mean, navigating complex airspace, it all comes down to this.
It really does. And they're a huge part of those ATPL theory exams, too.
Exactly. And it's not just about memorizing facts, right? It's about truly understanding them. So let's really dig in.
Yeah, definitely. Our mission today is, to cut through some of the jargon and get right to the core knowledge you'll actually need. We're basically extracting those crucial nuggets, the things that will help you confidently tackle those exam questions on aircraft approach procedures. And maybe more importantly, really grasp the why behind them.
Think of this deep dive as like your personal focused study session. We're aiming to clarify key definitions, the procedures themselves, and yeah, those all-important numbers. They keep everything safe and precise. You know, an instrument approach, it isn't just one continuous descent. It's actually a beautifully choreographed sequence. I mean, did you realize there are actually 5 distinct segments? 5 steps, basically, guiding an aircraft safely down.
That's right. 5 segments. Each plays a vital role. You start with the arrival segment.
Okay.
Then you transition to the initial segment, followed by the intermediate segment. That leads you into the final segment. And then, of course, there's always the missed approach segment, kind of a safety net.
Right, the plan B.
Exactly. And each one begins and ends at specific designated fixes. It creates this predictable, organized path.
Okay, let's zoom in a bit. Let's focus on that initial setup, specifically the initial and intermediate segments. The initial segment that kicks off at the IAF, the initial approach fix, and it directs you towards the intermediate fix, the IF. Now, for a non-precision approach, this is a key number, I think. What's the absolute maximum interception angle allowed, when you're turning from that initial segment onto the intermediate track?
Right, good question. For non-precision, that maximum angle is 120 degrees.
120.
But it gets even tighter if you need a dead reckoning segment, a DR segment.
Ah, right.
In that case, the interception angle to the intermediate track must be no greater than 45 degrees.
Only 45.
Yeah, and the length of that DR track itself, no more than 10 nautical miles. That tighter 45-degree limit helps ensure you're already getting reasonably aligned for what comes next.
Okay, that makes sense. So here's what it gets, really interesting for the pilot. Once you're actually in the intermediate segment, what's the primary focus there? What are you doing to set up for that next critical phase?
Well, in the intermediate segment, the pilot's main job is adjusting the aircraft's speed and configuration.
Like flaps and gear.
Exactly. Flaps, landing gear, slowing down, all in preparation for the final approach.
Yeah.
This is where you're really getting ready to commit to the landing. So descent in this segment, it's intentionally kept to an absolute minimum. It's more about fine-tuning your setup than, rapidly losing altitude.
Getting stable.
Precisely.
And speaking of commitment, let's talk precision approaches. Where exactly does that crucial final approach segment begin? What marks that point?
It starts at the final approach point, or FAP.
FAP.
And this is specifically defined. It's the point in space, right on the localizer center line, where the intermediate approach altitude intercepts the nominal glide path.
Ah, the intercept point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's truly the moment you establish final alignment with the runway and begin your continuous descent for landing. From the FAP onwards, it's all about staying perfectly on that path, both laterally and vertically.
Aviation, as we know, is just built on numbers. And instrument approaches, no exception. They are absolutely loaded with critical figures. Let's start with safety altitudes. Minimum sector altitudes, MSAs. You see them on the charts all the time. What radius from, say, a terminal VOR or maybe an IAF or IF is MSA typically provided for?
Okay, so MSA, or sometimes you'll see it as TAA, terminal arrival area.
Right.
It provides at least 300 meters clearance.
300 meters, that's about...
Just under 1,000 feet, 984 feet to be precise.
Okay.
And this safety buffer is guaranteed within 25 nautical miles of the navigation aid, the IAF or the IF that it's associated with.
25 nautical miles, that's a key radius.
All right. Many thanks for listening to this free part of the ATPL Theory podcast. If you want to continue learning and access the full comprehensive guide, go to my Patreon at patreon.com/ATPLtheory or my Hero at herohero.co/ATPL. That is patreon.com/ATPLtheory or herohero.co/ATPL. Wishing you all the best.